Hi everyone. So today is the last day of May as I am recording this. Oh, and look at that. The 10 of Cups just wanted to pop out and we haven't even started talking to the deck yet. But it is the last day of May. So I thought I would do an all signs reading today. Just quick readings, speed readings, I like to call them, just to see if we can get a sneak peek of what's going to happen for each of the signs in the month of June. Tomorrow, I'm going to do a much more in-depth look at the month of June, but for today, I just thought I would do a sneak peek for each of the signs. So I have 4 tarot decks here and 3 oracle decks, and we're going to go through each of these decks for each of the signs, and we're going to take a look at just some general messages that want to come out. We'll take a look at your love life or relationships that you have in your life. And then finally, we'll take a look at your money and we'll see what comes out for that. We could see messages about career coming out or just money in general. We'll see what the cards want to tell us about that. So we're going to move through in zodiac order. We're going to start with Aries and move through Pisces. And the timestamps will be in the description and in the pinned comment for those who just want to skip through to the signs that are relevant to you. So the decks are shuffled, so we're going to get started with Aries. So let's look first at your general messages, Aries. So with that, we have taking risks, 9 of Wands, and the 5 of Pentacles. Aries, this is giving me a message that it might be time for you to move away from something that's keeping you too limited. The 9 of Wands and the 5 of Pentacles are telling me that you have been in a situation far too long that's really not good for you. It's making you feel limited. It might be making you feel fearful. It might be making you feel like you're not valued in a situation, but yet it feels like you continue to stay in that environment or stand up for something in that environment is what I'm getting from the 2 tarot cards. The Oracle deck is telling you to take a risk, which I believe means to start releasing some of these things instead of standing up for these things or staying in these toxic environments. It's time to really take a risk on yourself, to bet on yourself and move away into a different direction, one that might be more fruitful for you or more that shows your true value. So for your love life, we have the Empress, the Knight of Pentacles, and Teddy Bear. So this is really saying, I love, first of all, Aries, that you're showing up as the Empress here, because this is about you taking a risk. This is about you expanding into your own energy, and this is about your own personal growth. There's a person here showing up as a Knight of Pentacles, and this is someone who I believe is someone new to you, someone who's interested in you, somebody who wants to perhaps take you out, someone who has been perhaps flirtatious with you. There's someone in your energy. I like that they're showing up as a Knight of Pentacles for you, Aries, because this is a very reliable, loyal, dedicated, committed type of person, the Knight of Pentacles. So it does feel like there is someone new coming in for you in the month of June. It may be that you have to release something else first, but this could be unrelated. But we do have both of those messages coming through of you releasing one thing and another new thing coming in. Then as far as your money, we have Wings and the 7 of Cups. So the Wings is really about your business or your money taking off. It's like this idea that your business has wings or your career has wings. This could also mean that you are making more of a profit with something. It could also mean that you're doing some kind of spiritual work with the wings that remind me of angels. This could be that you're on your life's purpose as far as this goes. The 7 of Cups too is all about your visions. So if you have dreams that you really wanted to go after as far as your career, I feel like this is a really good opportunity. This is a good month for you to do that, to really show off your skills and to really follow your life's purpose. And that usually starts by following your dreams. And that's what I'm getting from this 7 of Cups for you, Aries, is that it's really a time for you to follow your dreams. And so that may tie us back to this original card of taking risks. If there's something you want to start as far as a business, but you're holding yourself back because you don't maybe feel like you'd be good enough, or maybe you have a fear of failure when it comes to this, it does feel like this is a perfect opportunity. The cards are saying to really follow your dreams, chase your dreams, because it's going to take off with these wings. So that is what I have for you, Aries. And now we will move on to Taurus. So for Taurus, for your general messages, we have trust, the Lovers, and the Three of Cups. So your general messages are really coming through here, Taurus, as relationships. So the Three of Cups is my card of friendships, and the Lovers is a card of relationships. And the Lovers card is always a card of the relationships that we choose to have in our lives, as opposed to the people that we're kind of have to be with. So for example, sometimes we don't choose, well, we never choose our family, but sometimes we don't necessarily choose to want to be around our family. But our friends and lovers and those types of things are generally, those relationships are the ones that we choose. And I think that's what this is pointing to. I'm not getting a family relationship here. I'm getting relationships of choice. Then we're getting the word trust. So there is a message coming through about knowing who to trust in your life. So maybe for the month of June, there is a need to sort of look at, make sure that the people who you are choosing to have in your life, Taurus, are truly the ones that are trustworthy and the ones that you want to have around you. The beauty of these relationships that we choose is that we do indeed get to choose them, and we can also choose to not be in them if we feel that there's some kind of a red flag or some reason to not trust the people around us. So for your love life, we have Justice, Queen of Swords, and the Snake. So the Snake is a pretty toxic card, and I feel like this is tying back to what I was just saying, that if there is a person in your life who you feel is competitive with you, if it's a friend, if it's a lover, if it's someone who is you feel might be a third party in your relationship, make it make sense for you. But if you're feeling like you always have to watch your back when it comes to someone, I feel like this is really the month for you to let that go. I like that Justice and the Queen of Swords are both here. Those are both cards of Libra. And Libra is an energy of balance and fairness. But the Queen of Swords also represents someone who sees things very clearly. So I think in the month of June, you are going to see very clearly who is for you and who is not, who you can trust and who you cannot trust. And the Queen of Swords has no problem discerning the difference. The Queen of Swords can do that in her sleep. I call her my human lie detector because she truly does. She truly understands the situation for what it is. She sees it through all the smoke screens that people are trying to manipulate or perform all around her, but she can see it. So I love that for you, Taurus, for the month of June. I think you're going to see a relationship very clearly and who you can trust and who you don't trust, and that the choice is yours. You get to choose whether or not you have this person in your life. So for your money, we have Gears and we have the Star. So the Gears is a card of hard work. So I do see you showing up really kind of grinding for the month of June here, Taurus, which is really a Taurus type of energy anyway. Every Taurus I know is a very hard worker. They put their plans into motion. They go for it. They build things. They have a strong security when it comes to their goals and their money. The Star card is here, though, saying that perhaps you've gone through some difficult times recently with your money, because when the Star card shows up, it really is a sign that you've just been through something difficult. And that when you see that one star up in the sky, it's that idea that there's still hope there. So what I'm getting generally from these two cards for you, Taurus, is that if you have had some troubled times recently when it has to do with your work or with money, the Star is here saying that you have a new hope that you are really holding on to. There's something in the environment with your work or your career or your money that all of a sudden you're seeing as a new opportunity, and it's giving you hope again when it comes to whatever this is that you're building. So make that make sense for you, but it looks like you're just grabbed onto something that you really think is going to work. And that's why you have gears, because you're going to start putting that into motion. So that is what I have for you, Taurus. So let's move on to Gemini. So Gemini, for your general messages, we have action, 9 of Swords, and Justice. So the 9 of Swords and Justice are telling me that some kind of karma is going to come in for you for the month of June. I do get the sense that because Justice is here balancing something out, that whatever it was that was causing you conflict or causing you some kind of anguish or anxiety, worries, stress with this 9 of Swords, that the universe is coming in to balance that in. So whatever you are holding yourself back from doing, whatever action you've been wanting to take recently but can't because you're either limiting yourself or there's someone else around you who's limiting you, or you have certain fears around it. The Justice card is showing up here in the month of June for you, Gemini, saying that your good karma is coming in to alleviate some of that anguish and some of that conflict so you can move whatever this is forward that you really have been intending to move forward. For your love life, you have Ace of Swords, Judgment, and Mirror. So this to me looks like you are in a highly spiritual relationship, Gemini, in the month of June. It feels like the two of you coming together has really helped you to see a lot about each other, about yourselves. There's a lot of self-reflection going on with this Mirror card. I think this is a time for you to really have a lot of introspection and to really try to heal some of those inner wounds. And I see both of you are waking up to the truth, because you, on your side, Gemini, you have the Ace of Swords and your person has Judgment. Both of those people are waking up to some kind of really hard and clear truth. And I think that's what this relationship has been for you. I think that whoever you've been involved with has played a really key part in your own personal growth, your spiritual growth, your integrating of conscious and unconscious. I feel like this is one of those very deep-seated soul connections where you are really forced to look at yourself and do that really deep spiritual and personal work. So it feels like you're in a really important connection. My guess is you're already in that connection, and the month of June is going to be very eye-opening as far as that goes. This may relate back to these general messages that the conflict you were having with your person may have been holding you back, but it feels again with the Justice in action that that's going to break wide open. The Ace of Swords is about breakthroughs. The Judgment card is about breakthroughs. So I do feel like you both are about to have a major breakthrough when it comes to your own spiritual healing and the growth of this relationship. As far as your money in the month of June, you have Moon and the Sun. Oh, interesting. Because the Moon is generally about not knowing where you're going in a direction, but the Sun is about having clarity and knowing which direction you're going. So I do get the sense with this Moon card that you might be doing some odd jobs, you might be doing side hustles, and I feel like that's keeping you optimistic in some way, that even though you might not know exactly where your next funds are coming from, you know you're going to be okay with the Sun card. So it feels like you're an independent contractor or you're doing some kind of side hustle, and sometimes it feels like the money is not coming in, but then other times it feels like it is. So it just feels like there's a shift a little bit between your money and the energy that flows through it. It's like this idea that the money is fluctuating between sun and moon, between night and day. So make that make sense for you. But I think that's an important message too, that even though your money may ebb and flow, that you're staying optimistic because you always know there's going to be something there for you, especially when you need it. So that is what I have for you, Gemini. So let's move on to Cancer. So Cancer, for your general messages for the month of June, you have Enlightenment, 10 of Pentacles, and the Empress. Wow, this feels like it's going to be a really significant month for you, Cancer, because we're getting Enlightenment and the Empress, which are all about your spiritual growth, standing in your power, expansion of your energy, birthing things into creation. Really, your creative juices are kind of flowing. But then we also have the 10 of Pentacles, which is telling me that whatever you are birthing into the world in this month, Cancer, is something that's going to give you a lot of longevity. Whatever this is you're building or doing for yourself, it's a lifelong passion for you with the 10 of Pentacles, that this feels like something that not only are you going to commit to perhaps for the rest of your life, but it's going to be something that really satisfies you for the rest of your life because you're so enlightened to do it. So that looks like this is going to be very significant for you in the month of June for you, Cancer. For your love life, we have the Ace of Pentacles. Whoops, let me get this one first. The 9 of Pentacles, and then we have date. So there's someone new in your energy in June, Cancer, certainly, because you're showing up as an Ace of Pentacles and they are showing up as a 9 of Pentacles. Both of those energies are great energies to start relationships in. Your person is very stable. You are very stable. You have a strong foundation. It feels like you're both coming into this relationship in a healed way, which makes sense because you're showing up as the Empress and enlightenment, which tells me that you are healed. You have done a significant amount of your spiritual healing. And so you're meeting someone, you're drawing someone in on that same vibe, that same vibration of healing that you're meeting. You're getting out there, you're dating, and there's someone here who's about to enter your realm. If they have entered your realm, it was only recently. And if not, then they're coming in the month of June. And it looks like it's going to be a good, solid start to something great. For your money, Cancer, I'm wondering if it's going to tie back to this 10 of Pentacles, but we have Butterfly and the 5 of Wands. So there may be some kind of conflict going on with your money. You might feel conflicted about a change in your money. So maybe you've had some extra bills that have come in, or maybe you've frivolously been spending with the Butterfly. Maybe you haven't really thought about long-term goals when it comes to your money. But I'm seeing that change too, because the 5 of Wands is about change. And then we're seeing the 10 of Pentacles here, which tells me that if you were having worries about money, that's all changing with something that you're growing into, something that your energy is expanding into, that thing we were talking about you would do for the rest of your life, perhaps, because it feels like your purpose and you're so enlightened to do it, you're being called to do it, that may be where your money is coming in. And a huge change in your work and money is coming in. And it also feels like you may not have used to like doing the job that you were doing, but now with this 10 of Pentacles, whatever you're moving into, it's something that you really love. It doesn't even feel like work to you. With the Empress and Enlightenment, it just feels like something you would want to do anyway. So, wow. Okay, so Cancer, that was your sneak peek for the month of June. So let's move on to Leo. So Leo, for your general messages for the month of June, we have flexibility, Queen of Swords, which I think I'm going to flip over, and the Page of Wands. So we're seeing two court cards that are very different from each other. We have the Queen of Swords and we have the Page of Wands. And because they're so different, and we're seeing this word flexibility for you, Leo, that I feel like you have to kind of stay flexible in the month of June and go back and forth between wanting to just fly by the seat of your pants and be spontaneous, like a lot of Leos I know are. They just want to go, 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 go. And sometimes Leos, because they're so busy being a fearless leader, that they don't always stop and do the analytical work. And this is saying with the Queen of Swords to really stop and use your innate intelligence to look at the situation from both sides. So be flexible about, yeah, you want to go and be spontaneous, but let me stop and think about this for a minute and make sure that this is the right decision for me. So there is a message coming through about just being flexible, Leo. For your love life, we have 4 of Wands, 10 of Cups, and Shock. So something is changing, something you're not expecting in your love life, some kind of a surprise. This is definitely not going to be for everyone, but the 4 of Wands and the 10 of Cups and a surprise, those 3 cards together can be a surprise proposal or someone unexpectedly asking you to move in with them or taking the next step in a relationship. It doesn't have to be that for everyone though. But there is certainly something in your love life that is very stable, very happy. So I feel like this is a relationship that you've already been in, Leo. I feel like this is of someone you already know, but something very happy, something very stable, some huge milestone is about to happen in your love life, but you're not expecting it. It's something that's going to really surprise you. So for your money and career, Leo, we have ornaments and the Hanged Man. So with ornaments, this is a sign that you're going to have extra money coming in. Maybe some investments are maturing. But I also see with ornaments and the Four of Wands, I can't help but think that this is about celebrations. So there's something that you're going to be celebrating. Maybe you already know what this is, Leo, but there's something here that it feels like you're really connecting to your truth with the Hanged Man, with this person. So I feel like most of the month of June is going to be a revolving around your love life, some relationship, some milestone that comes out of nowhere and something that you're really going to want to celebrate. So that is what I have for you, Leo. So let's move on to Virgo. So Virgo, for the month of June, for your general messages, we have freedom, 10 of Cups, and the World. Whoa, Virgo, what are you up to? So the 10 of Cups is really giving me pretty much the same energy that the Freedom card is giving me, that there's so much abundance around you. It's like you have everything you possibly need. You're so happy in the month of June, Virgo, that nothing's going to get you down. You are free. And the World card is confirming that you have done so much personal growth that it feels like the two sides of yourself are coming together. You're integrating the conscious and the unconscious parts of yourself, which is putting you in alignment. And it feels like your life is about to get infinitely better, with the 10 of Cups being an abundance of something. You've attained something, you've graduated from something, and you are now free to move on in a very happy and fulfilled way. Wow, Virgo. So let's look at your love life. So we have the 5 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, and the Coffin. So the Coffin card is giving me the same feeling that this Freedom card was giving me, in the sense that you're putting something finally to rest. That is what this World card is releasing things so you can start moving forward to something much, much better. The 5 of Cups is telling me that you may be breaking up with a person this month, that you may be breaking off a relationship. But with the 10 of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups showing up in your reading in both of these places, Virgo, it's telling me that this is for the better. There's new beginnings. You're being liberated from something. There may have been a tragic ending when it comes to this person or whomever you're releasing. You may be feeling some kind of grief about this person even, but what's happening in a spiritual level is there's a door opening up to you for both your 10 of Cups and your 10 of Pentacles. So you really are being released from something. It's almost giving me a sense of the Tower card, where you weren't expecting this relationship to maybe fall apart, but when it did, you realized just how liberating that is for you. So then, Virgo, for your career and money, you have Turtle and the King of Cups. So the Turtle card is about slow but steady progress. So it feels to me like whatever you're doing for your work, it's good enough that it could be coming in slowly, but it's steady work. It's a long-term type of thing that you're involved in. And I like that the King of Cups is showing up, because it's showing that you have a very emotional attachment to whatever this is. And so when I see a Cups energy come in with a money reading, it really tells me that your heart is connected to it. And when you have that strong emotional center, when it has to do with your career, it does feel like that's when the money starts to come in more steadily. And so I do see you sticking with whatever you're doing in the month of June and staying with that, which is a very Virgo energy. You tend to stay with things. You're very loyal. You're very committed, which may be why you're feeling regretful about whatever this relationship is that seems to be falling apart, or you're releasing it, probably because you were committed to it for a long time until you realized that it was time to let it go. So that is your sneak peek for the month of June, Virgo. So let's move on to Libra. So for Libra, your general messages for the month of June, you have community, the Fool, and the Four of Cups. So this is really telling me, Libra, that the people around you, there may be opportunities around you that you're not seeing. That if you've had offers come in, it could be love offers, could be friendship, could be invitations to things, it could be jobs. Make it make sense for you, Libra. But it does feel like there are things around you that you're not seeing, and they might be right in front of you. And the Fool card is asking you to stay optimistic about these things because there's something out there that's worth taking a risk on, worth taking a chance on that you're not paying attention to. And it's right there in your community, which makes me think it's right there in front of your face. So let's look at your love life to see if we can get some more clues about that. So there's the Tower, the Ten of Wands, and self-indulgence. So this is giving me a little bit more of a clue here about what could be going on with you, Libra, for the month of June, is that I feel like there's a relationship recently that fell apart. Some relationship that was really on unsteady ground. It was unsustainable. It was making you feel very burdened. Perhaps you were putting in more into the relationship than your person was. But I feel like what's happened with the self-indulgence and the Ten of Wands is that you're still carrying around a lot of heaviness, a lot of baggage from that past relationship that you really weren't expecting to have the rug pulled out from under you. So if you are self-indulging in things, or it's really important to remember your own self-value, your own self-worth, and that this is a really good opportunity for you to heal or do the shadow work, but mostly to really just appreciate yourself, Libra, and to understand just what a badass you are. And this is giving me some more clues about what we saw in your general messages, because what this is telling me is you may be so preoccupied with what happened in your past that you're not paying attention perhaps to something brand new that's right in front of you. There may be someone in your energy who really wants to get to know you, who really wants to take care of you, but you're not seeing it. Or if you are seeing it, you don't feel like you want to take a risk on it because you don't want it to end up like this. But the cards are telling me to take that risk. There's someone else here who's going to be nothing like this past relationship. So as far as your career and money goes, Libra, we have the Rose and Death. So I do feel that for some of you, I'm getting that you have enough security as far as money goes right now with the Rose, or you have some way of having some kind of income, whether this is investments that you've made, retirement funds, trust funds, I don't know. I'm getting something like that, but there's something that you're content enough with your money that you're allowing your career to transition right now. You may be moving from one career to another. You might be moving from one company to another. You might be moving from a corporate job to a spiritual job. Make it make sense for you, but you're comfortable enough to make that transition before your new career really takes off. That's what I have there. So that is your sneak peek for the month of June, Libra. So let's move on to Scorpio. So Scorpio, for your general messages for the month of June, we have blessings, Seven of Cups, and the Four of Wands. So it definitely looks like you're going to have some things to celebrate, Scorpio, in the month of June. You have blessings and the Four of Wands, and the Four of Wands is a card of milestones and being able to celebrate those milestones, knowing that you still have a ways to go, but understanding with the Four of Wands that you are going in the right direction because you're hitting your marks, you're hitting your milestones. With the Seven of Cups, I feel like once you hit those milestones, that's when more opportunities are going to open up for you. So whatever this is for you, if you've just hit some business milestones and you're being blessed with some extra money, it does feel like you're making a name for yourself, and that's going to open some more doors for you. That the Seven of Cups is giving me almost a networking type of energy where you're going to have a lot of opportunities pop out right in front of you. So for your love life, we have the Moon, Six of Cups, and Clock. So this is one of those relationships I feel like you're in, Scorpio, that feels like it's cycling around. I also feel with the moon card that there's not a lot of contact between you and this person. And if there is contact, it's not very clear, that perhaps you both just need time to figure out what's going on. Maybe you both need time to heal. I am getting a sense with the Six of Cups that this relationship is progressing in some way because you have a strong soul connection. These are very emotional cards, the moon and the Six of Cups, which really also I feel very aptly represents you too, Scorpio, because you're deeply emotional, but often mysterious. And so I do feel like that's how your relationship is playing out, that there's someone else that you're dealing with that also is deeply emotional and also is mysterious, could be another water sign, does not have to be, but it feels like you're going through cycles with this person because you're both meant to teach each other something. So your love life for the month of June looks like that. This with the general messages feels like something else, like a networking, something you're working on, a project, a career. But let's look at your career to see what wants to come out. So for your career and money, we have Skull and we have the King of Swords. So the Skull is telling me sort of what I was getting, but almost the precursor to what I was getting to the general messages, is that you might be going through a rough patch when it comes to your business, that you might be borrowing money right now. You could be low on cash, or you might not be working at all. But what I'm getting is that these milestones that you're going to hit in the month of June that bring in these blessings, and that is going to open the door for you. Because this King of Swords is all about a flow of information and contacting people, connecting with people, communicating with people. So I believe that this general message ties right back to your work or whatever your career or money is, and that the doors are all going to start opening for you because you're going to start making a name for yourself, whatever that is for you. Your love life, on the other hand, I think there's something deeper that you need to learn there, but I think it's an important spiritual lesson for you and for your personal growth. So that is what I have for you, Scorpio, for your sneak peek of the month of June. So let's move on to Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, for your general messages for the month of June, you have security, the Emperor, and the Hierophant. So you're getting a couple of majors there. And the Emperor is someone who is very disciplined, someone who is very organized, secure, follows the rules, and is very expecting other people to follow the rules too. Very secure energy. And the Hierophant gives a similar energy in the sense that it's very traditional, very secure, very standard, very everything is in the box. All of the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, and this type of energies. And that's giving you a sense of security, is knowing that everything is in its right place. So let's see if that we can figure out how that ties together with your love and money. For your love life, Sagittarius, we have the Emperor again. So I am feeling like these are tying together. You may be feeling very secure in a relationship, but we'll see. Then we have the Eight of Cups, and then we have Old School. Okay, so I think what's happening with you, Sagittarius, in the month of June with your love life, I feel like you are seeking a different direction. I feel like you're moving on from a love relationship because it was an old way of thinking, limited way of thinking, too much playing back and recycling and going through the same toxic patterns and behaviors over and over again with the same person. The Eight of Cups is about releasing emotional patterns and moving on. You don't necessarily know where you're going, but you know you can't stay here. And I just saw 3333 as I said that. And I think this Emperor energy showing through for you is you saying, I don't need this relationship. In fact, it's an old pattern. It's toxic. It's whatever it is for you. You're starting to repeat cycles now with this person, that you are fully relying on yourself with the two Emperors and the Hierophant. You don't need anyone but yourself, and that is exactly where your security is coming from. So for your career and money, Sagittarius, we have Mask and we have the Chariot. So the Mask can be about you saving enough money that your money for a rainy day kind of thing. You might be finding money somewhere. You might just be having good luck with your money. But the Chariot is telling me that there's some kind of balance here going on with your money. So It feels like you're working, but you also are saving your pennies. It feels like there's some kind of completion coming through. So I'm struggling to get a clear message about what this is because it might be different for everybody. But in general, what I'm getting with the Chariot and the Mask is that you're moving your career or your money forward in such a positive way, and you're having a lot of successes, perhaps promotions with the Chariot, that you're able to save a lot of money, especially in the month of June. So that is what I see for your sneak peek for the month of June for you, Sagittarius. So let's move on to Capricorn. So Capricorn, for your general messages for the month of June, you have forgiveness, judgment, and the 9 of Wands. So this feels like a pretty heavy kind of month in the sense that you're doing a lot of spiritual work. I think with the judgment showing up with the 9 of Wands is you understand that you've done something for too long, Capricorn. I do feel that you want to release something and you're awakening to that, but it feels like it's going to require forgiveness on your part. So if you're holding on to angry feelings towards someone, bitterness, whatever that is for you, the best way to release that and to release yourself of the heavy energy is to forgive. And forgiving someone doesn't excuse them of what they did. The universe will take care of that person. Karma is always out there doing its job. Always. I promise you that. The forgiveness is for you, the release of that, because it feels like with the 9 of Wands and judgment that you're carrying too much and it's starting to feel too heavy, that it's time to release that. So let's look at your love life. So we have the 2 of Pentacles, the King of Swords, and the Sword and Rose. I think that one of the things you're really waking up to this month, Capricorn, is this person who's in your energy. And this may be the person that we're talking about here, someone that you really feel that it's time to release them. You're having a lot of clarity about what's going on in this relationship. And all of the determination you had in the past with the 9 of Wands to hold on to this is really starting to crumble. And it's turning into a 2 of Pentacles where you're saying, I don't know that I really need this anymore. I think it might be time for me to move on and forgive whatever this King of Swords did to you in your past. Maybe they emotionally detached. Maybe they were cruel in some ways. Maybe they weren't loving. Maybe it could be anything. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be a romantic partner, but I feel like it is. Somebody really let you down, but you're finally seeing it clearly in the month of June and you're going to be able to release this. I feel like you've been preparing yourself for a while now, Capricorn, to release this person. And it feels like June is really when you're going to be able to do it once and for all. So for your career and money, Capricorn, we have Buddha and the 4 of Pentacles. So the 4 of Pentacles is all about attachment. And I feel like that ties back a little bit to who this person was or is in your energy that you are releasing. The more you were attached to this person, the less your life's purpose could move forward. So I feel like in releasing whoever this is and also forgiving whoever this is, Capricorn, that it feels to me like you can really move this in a direction towards your life purpose. And life purpose is more than money. It's about spiritual growth. It's about spiritual wealth. It's about helping others. It's about being guided down your life's path. And I feel like once you release this person, I really feel like that's exactly when the energy of your new life's purpose is going to come in. That's the messages I'm really getting very strongly. So that is your month of June, your sneak peek for Capricorn. So let's move on to Aquarius. So for Aquarius, for your general messages in the month of June, we have fulfillment, King of Cups, and the Moon. So Aquarius, this feels like it's almost a romantic vibe coming off of this Moon and the King of Cups and fulfillment. There is a person or perhaps just something in your energy that you love very much with the King of Cups. Whatever it is or whoever it is, it's making you feel extremely fulfilled. And I also feel like you're facing a lot of fears. So for example, if you are starting up a new business and you've been afraid to do it, but you keep following your heart. I feel like that's the thing. You're facing your fear of for perhaps failure or whatever that is for you, but you're doing it and you're being fulfilled in the month of June. If this is a person, perhaps you're facing a fear of commitment, but once you do that, you understand that facing your fears is the thing that fulfills you. Knowing that you can do it and deep down believing in yourself and betting on yourself is where the fulfillment is coming in for you, Aquarius, for the month of June. So for your love life, we have the Hanged Man, the Page of Pentacles, and Mask. So there is another message coming through with the Moon and the Mask that it looks like there might be a new relationship coming in for you, because I see this Page of Pentacles, and that's someone who has a lot of potential, and they have a lot of good potential in the sense that they are very stable, they're very loyal, they're coming through as this really strong energy. But with you showing up as the Hanged Man and you have the Moon with the King of Cups here, it feels like you still might be hiding your true feelings, that you might still be holding back. And so I do think that this Moon and fulfillment is going back to what I had originally said, that once you face your fears and learn to open your heart again to another person, that's where you're going to find your fulfillment, not necessarily in the relationship, but in yourself, in that you faced your own fears. So for career and money for you, Aquarius, we have Face and the Page of Pentacles. So we have the Page of Pentacles again. The Page of Pentacles is all about awakening to your hidden potentials and starting something from the ground up. So I feel like for your money, you're going to take some risks on something. You're going to invest in something, and it's going to be something that you build from the ground up, which could be, I feel like your love life and your money are both tied to the same message. Face your fears. Face your fears when it comes to commitment, when it comes to whatever this is, your project is that you're building from the ground up, what you're learning, what you're studying. It feels like you're kind of a little bit wary about both of these things. And this is saying, but you don't understand just how fulfilled you'll be if you just allow both of these things to happen. And it looks like it's all happening in the month of June for you. So Aquarius, that is your sneak peek for the month of June. So let's move on to Pisces. So for Pisces, for your general messages for the month of June, you have Love, the Shadow, which is the Devil in this deck, and the Five of Cups. So it feels to me, Pisces, like your love life is not, or something that you love. It doesn't have to be your love life. We're going to look at your love life next, but something that you love very deeply ended up being extremely toxic and extremely disappointing is what I'm getting from that. So it feels like there's something here, maybe perhaps something you were dependent on or something you were attached to, but something that feels very toxic is going to be a huge disappointment. It feels like something you love turns out nothing the way that you thought it was going to, but let's keep going so we can see if we can get more. For your love life, you have the Six of Swords, the Knight of Swords, and Cut Down. Yes, I think this has absolutely everything to do with your love life, Pisces. I think that you are escaping something that was extremely toxic. Someone who was probably playing games with you, probably someone who was keeping you feeling small or keeping you in a pattern or giving you the cold shoulder or coming in and out of your life. I feel like you're finally seeing it for what it truly is and that you're done. You are done. You're disappointed because you didn't see it coming, but you are escaping with the Six of Swords. So that is the good news, is you're moving on from something that's extremely toxic in the month of June, Pisces. For your career and money, I love it. Here's some good news. You have Treasure and you have the King of Wands. So put all of your focus in the month of June on your career, because it looks like you have a lot of money. It looks like here, this is saying this is worry-free finances, that you're getting promoted, you're selling your products, you're planning, you have a lot of hidden talents that are starting to come out in the month of June. And the King of Wands is a leader. It's a fearless leader. It's an inspiring leader. So clearly the month of June is where your efforts should be going. Once you release and escape this situation, it feels like your money and career is just going to burst open. And a lot of times that's the way the spiritual energy works, is once we release something, that's terrible for us, or at least not good for us anymore, that opens up a whole new world of possibilities as far as this treasure, this influx of something else coming in. And it looks like it's going to be by way of your leadership skills and something you're bringing as far as your career and money goes. So there you go, Pisces. That is your sneak peek for the month of June. Please let me know how this was resonant for you. Consider subscribing to my channel if you like my vibe, and we will do this again sometime. Thanks, everybody. Bye.